this up a little bit. Okay. That's about right. Okay, this is another song I wrote. It's my most recent completed song. Guard your thoughts, guard your hearts, guard your minds, here it comes. Temptation sneaks like a snake in the grass on the scene. Our senses senselessly change until our minds are deranged. Put to the test the war with the flesh inside your mind, unless they are arrested by the detested form alive. Oh,
Awesome, awesome. Well, okay, a couple things. First is, like, I find, because I've seen you played today, but then you played it the last seminar that I was here, right? And but the song you played that time was really dark. What was that song?
Blazing Light of God.
Yeah, it was just like really, really super dark. So this is a little lighter than the last one, which was good. A little freaky, but I think initially, like what I would do with you, like you have this countenance about you that breeds some sort of an anticipation. Did you feel like that? Like I felt like when you came up, like I was really anxious to hear what you were going to sing or what you're going to do, because there's sort of like this, I don't know, this sort of likability, this sort of joyous likability about you. And then you sing like this weird stuff. You know? That's just like, you're like going, I'm just not smart enough to get what he's singing, you know? Like it's going to be hard to be radio hits as far as that goes. But I have a sense that you don't really care about that. and that's really great. So, with that then, like, I feel like you could be like this, like, wish I could find an artist maybe to compare you to, but like,
Alanis Morissette.
yeah, Alanis Morissette, yeah. Like, or like in the Christian, like Derek Webb.
Yeah.
You know, who just does like, your following is going to be different. It's not going to be the more traditional, send a song out to radio, tons of people listen to it, and all of a sudden they go to your website and they're your fans. It's going to be much more of this grassroots groundswell. Oh, did you hear that Ryan guy? He does that one weird song about light or whatever. Oh, you've got to hear this. And that's the kind of thing where you take your CD and you give it to your friend. And you say, you've got to hear this song. And then I listen to it the first time and I go, like, what? So then I listen to it again. And then by the time I've listened to it 5 times, like, I can't wait to take that CD to my other friend and say, listen to this, you've got to hear this song. And so I want that to be encouragement to you. Like, I feel like you have this thing about you with these kind of, how old are you?
Just turned 18.
Oh my goodness. Like you just have this musical stuff that's coming from you that you're not hearing on the radio. It's not as a result of you listening to too much Chris Tomlin that you're able to, or horns, you know, that you're doing this. And so I think you keep working on this. I do think that there still is room in your writing to make sure that there's some sort of a little hook at some place that we can, for any of the songs, even the last one that I heard you sing, that there's some sort of little hook that we can grab a hold of. So that there's something that comes back again and again that we can grasp a hold of. I just think it'll potentially expand your audience a little bit. But I want to like encourage you to some of those intervals that you're singing in the lines. We're not hearing that stuff, and it's really refreshing. I think that's really cool. And I think for you to continue writing these sorts of songs, making sure that they're still formed in a way that people can understand, and that you're not getting so much information in the songs that we don't know where you're going with it. Yeah. They have a real clear picture of each of these songs and what you're doing. But I think that that you've got just a cool sort of vibe and look and refreshment about you that we're expecting Jonas Brothers, and we're getting like, you know, Black Sabbath. I think that works really well for you, and I think that you're able to do that those odd things because you have such a lightheartedness, a joy about you, which is I think is really refreshing. And so I say, make sure those songs are still crafted well in the midst of your unusualness and creativity in those. I think that's really great. Yeah. And but boy, I would just get a CD. Get a CD that's great and has those things, and man, get it out to every underground, independent station that you can find. And I just feel like there could be a big groundswell of support for your music coming from a real different place than our traditional stuff. What even Christian or mainstream as well. I mean, I think that some of it really appeals to that as well. Okay. So, good job, Ryan.
As far as the style, whether it would be Christian or not the genre, be Christian or alternative, mainstream, whatever, but stylistically, it would be on, you know, you want the songs title that are writing, but what else are you seeing? Well,
I think it's a real, you know, he's just alternative pop, rock, not like rock band sort of thing, but yeah, like acoustic, alternative acoustic sort of thing, like a darker, what's Gavin DeGraw, I mean, just a darker, maybe a darker sort of that. I feel like it is kind of that Alanis sort of, where do those lyrics and that music come from? It's just something we haven't heard like that. I mean, this is some of those things, intervals you've seen was just so different and creative and really cool. I mean, all needs to be really framed still within a good songwriting. But I think that for me, I see him as kind of an underground alternative pop rock sort of guy. Often, yeah, that's really good.
Still having fun? Yeah. Okay, I think we got time for one more.